Hello and welcome. My name is Mimi and I'm so happy that you tuned in for today's practice where we're gonna work with a focus. We're gonna work our hips. That is always a good idea, right? We're gonna start lying on our back. So get nice and comfortable here. Pull those knees into your chest once the head and the shoulders are rested, and then just rock from side to side, massaging the lower back, but also moving the hips further away from the shoulders, and vice versa, so the spine is really fully extended. Then find stillness here through the hips. Step that right foot back down flat to the ground, and cross your left ankle over your right knee. Reach around your right leg, and pull that right knee towards your chest. However, it's not really about how close you can bring that right knee down towards your chest. It's more about staying open through the left hip. So keep on pushing that left knee away from you as you draw that right knee towards the chest. Feel how the sides of your bodies, of your torso, stay the same length. Even then, when you start to increase the intensity, bringing the right knee in a little closer. Keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your face soft and relaxed. Take another breath here into your left hip. With an exhale out, see what else there is for you to move towards too. And then keep your legs as they are, but let go of your hands. So you can then slide that left knee all the way over and across on top of that right knee. If it's there for you, you can also hook the left toes around the right calf. Open your arms into a T shape. Turn your palms down the way for your gecko fingers. And then let both of your legs come over towards the right side of the room. Keep your left shoulder blade grounded and feel this wonderful stretch on the outside of your left hip. If it helps to stay more flat through the shoulders, turn your gaze over towards the left. Stay here for one more breath. Exhale out. Well done. Untangle your legs at the bottom. Rock back onto your pelvis. This time have your left foot flat on the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Push that right knee away. It's like an external rotation through that right hip joint. And then reach around your left thigh. Interlace your fingers behind your leg and pull that left knee gently into your chest without losing that opening in your right hip. So keep on working that right knee away from your right shoulder. Try to keep the right side of your side body as open as the left side of your side body. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Keep the back of your neck long, so pulling the chin down to the chest sometimes can help. And then stay here for one more mindful breath. And then letting go of your hands, gliding the right knee all the way over and across so it sits on top of your left knee. If it's there for you, you can also hook the right toes around the left calf. Open your arms into a T shape. Let both of your legs come over towards the left side and turn your head over towards the right eye. Feel the stretch here across the torso, across the chest, and down there at your right hip. Be here for one more breath. Exhale out. Untangle your legs at the bottom to rock back down onto your back. Have both of your knees tucked into your chest and then use your legs to rock yourself up into a seated position. From here, swing your legs around, coming on your hands and your knees. Have your hands lightly walked out so they sit in front of your shoulders. Tuck your toes under and then slide your hips up high. Come with me into down dog. Let's take a moment here to feel how we feel in our down dog. So maybe you pedal your legs, you sweep your hips from side to side. You can undulate your spine here and then find stillness here. With your next inhale, start to lift that right leg right up towards the sky. At your highest point, roll your right hip on top of your left hip, bend into that right knee and pull your right heel over and across towards your left sit bone. Your left foot is still facing forward and your chest is still traveling backwards towards that left thigh. So it's really only the hip that starts to rotate open to the side. Squeeze your right hamstring a little more. Having the hamstring contracted will help you to open through that right hip flexor more efficient. Stay here for one more breath. With an exhale out, now keep that right knee as high as it is and circle it all the way around towards your tricep. Then step your right foot down to the outside of your right hand. Drop down onto that left knee. There's a big, big gap between right heel and left heel. Set yourself up as spacious as you can. Then reach with your right fingertips forward, up towards the ceiling, all the way towards the back of the room. The left side of your ribcage rotates from underneath upwards and you're just here. You can just enjoy that stretch, or maybe, how would it feel now to bend that left knee, to float the left foot up into your right hand, to come into your bind. If you're in your bind, see if you can gently move that left heel closer and closer towards your buttocks without sticking the hips out behind you. Stay open through the front of the left hip. Relax your shoulders wherever you are. Infuse another breath. Exhale out. Well done. Let that left foot come back down to the floor. Circle that right arm back towards the front of the yoga mat. Place it on the inside of your right foot and then step that left foot to the outside of your left hand, coming into our Malasana squat. Hips go low, the heels stay grounded, and the knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. If flexibility doesn't allow you to have the heels low, come on your tippy toes and that's totally fine. Allow your spine to be extended and then use your elbows as well, pressing into the inside of your knees to extend the spine a little more and to really work into those hips. And stay here for one more breath. Let your hands come back down to the floor. Lift your hips up towards the sky. Heel toe walk your feet back together to hip width distance apart. Reverse your swan dive, hands by your hips. Chest pulls forward, spine is straight. Squeeze into your glutes to come all the way up to stand nice and tall. Connect your hands above your head. Bring your hands to heart center. Samastihiti. From the bottom of the feet all the way up through the body into the fingertips. Then open your arms, slingshot your heart forward. Be heavy in your toes. Find your forward fold. Come into half lift. Feel free to place hands against shins to extend the spine. With an exhale out, free that right foot and step it right through to the very end of the yoga mat. Beautiful. From here, heel to walk now your left foot across. So the toes end up sitting behind that right wrist. Then bring that left shin all the way across the yoga mat and let that left knee come down towards the floor. So the left knee sits on the outside of that left hip. Stretch your right leg out of your right hip joint, reaching to the end of the yoga mat, and find with me pigeon pose. So we want to have that chin across the yoga mat. However, going into more of a diagonal takes intensity away if the hip is just too tight. Walk your hands out in front of you, extending through the spine. And then stay here, simmer, and see what's lingering here. You can rest the forehead all the way down to the floor. You can relax your forearms. As you're here in your pigeon pose, be mindful with your hips. We want to have the right hip rolled down as far as the left hip. And we also want to have our hips being square, so they sit on one line. Take another breath in here. Exhale out. Well done. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your right toes back under. Activate your core. Hug your front body into your back body. Step it back. Downward facing dog. One vinyasa from here. Lift your heels up high. Draw your chin towards your chest. Round your way forward. Come into high plank. With or without your knees bent, those elbows come into low plank. Moving forward and upwards, baby cobra or full cobra, your choice. Downward facing dog. Exhaling out. Lift that left leg all the way up towards the sky. Roll your left hip on top of your right hip. Squeeze into that left hamstring to pull the left heel even further down towards your right sit bone. Everything else is untouched by it. It's just the hip that really opens. Then stay here with me for one more breath. With an exhale out, keep that left knee high as you circle it all the way around towards your left tricep. And then step it down on the outside of your left hand. Drop that right knee down. Again, think vast. You want to set yourself up as expansive as possible. Left fingertips reach forward, upwards, and then they circle all the way around to the end of the yoga mat. Rotate that right side of your ribcage upwards as well, and you can stay here. You can even relax your left arm if you want to, or maybe you want to bend that right knee and come into your bind. If you're there, you might even want to pull that heel in a little closer, but try not to stick the bum out behind you. Stay open through that right hip. Feel how the breath can bring calm and also a sense of surrender, even though it feels very intense. Be here with me for one more breath. And then let go of your right foot. Left hand goes back down to the inside of your left foot. Step it to the front. Right foot meets your left. Sit your hips down towards your heels. Extend your spine nice and long. Wonderful. Have the neck relaxed here. You can stay here if you want to add something on. Keep on pushing your left elbow into your left knee, but place the left hand down towards the floor. Use your muscles, your glute muscles, to keep on pushing the right knee away towards the back of the yoga mat. Free your right arm and add in a rotation. Feel how the left side of your ribcage rotates all the way up, 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 up. Then come back through center. Inhale here. To move over to the other side, right fingertips go towards the floor. Left fingertips go up, but don't let that left knee collapse inwards. Keep on pushing it out as you reach higher and higher and higher. Well done. Hands back down, lift your hips up high. Walk your feet back to hip width distance apart. Reverse your swan dive, hands by your hips. Top of the head pulls forward. It's like the yogi deadlift. Come with me, stand nice and tall. Bring your hands towards heart center, Samastihiti. From the bottom of the feet all the way up through the body into your fingertips. Open your arms to the side, slingshot your heart forward, find your swan dive. Exhale out. Come into half lift, inhale. Free your left foot and step it right through to the very end of the yoga mat. Wonderful. From here, heel to walk now, your right foot over and across, so the foot sits behind your left wrist. Bring that shin down towards the floor. Let the right knee just fold to the side. Square your hips, so the left hip goes as far forward as the right hip, and then also have them at the same level. So don't sit down over onto your right butt cheek, but stay lifted. Then walk your hands out in front of you to extend this body even longer as you work more and more into that right hip. You can come all the way down. You can support yourself here. And then just simmer here for a moment in your own greatness. Feeling all the things that are going on. Let's stay here for another 2. One more breath. And then reset, come back over to the right side. Come back up high, and then sit over towards your right side. So you can bring that left leg back out in front of you. Place now both feet, the soles of your feet against each other, so the knees are bent. You can hold on to your ankles, or you can scoop your hands underneath the knife edges of your feet, and then wiggle your butt as close as it's there for you. Try to press those knees down towards the floor, but it's not just a push-down movement. It's actually a rolling movement of the thigh. So try to spin the inside of the thigh more up and scoop the outside of your thigh more under. And this will also give you maybe a little more depth in that hip opener. When you look at your feet, imagine it's like opening a book. So you keep the knife edges together, but you try to open the inside arches away. Then extend your spine. If it's there for you, add in a little bit of a forward lean to work into those hips. We stay for another 2 breaths. One more breath. Nice. Well done, and slowly release. Scoop those knees back together with your hands, and then lower yourself down to come into Shavasana. Stretch your legs long into the corners of the yoga mats. Place your hands by your hips. Again, imagine you are a block of chocolate melting in the sun, and you just paddle out. You just melt into the floor. You always want to seal our practice with at least 2 minutes, up to 10 minutes of mindfulness without any interaction of movement, where we really just sit in full stillness with ourselves, so in the absence of any movement, and then hopefully also absence of any sound, even those sounds that are coming from our mind. If you find this really hard, just work with this powerful tool where you connect with your breath, and you count every inhale, you count every exhale, and you keep on counting. And if whenever you notice, you lost your count, then just start over again. It's not a race. It's not about reaching a certain number as quick as you can. It's just about staying there present. So feel free to stay here up to 10 minutes. I'm gonna click myself out from here. I'll let you be in silence. Thanks so much for coming along. See you soon again. From my heart to yours, namaste.